Hello children, we have already studied about the equations of motion. Now, today let us solve some problems on these equations of motion. So here there are some problems. As I already told you in these problems, first of all, try to mark the important things that you find in the problem. So a particle is moving along x-axis. It decelerates at a rate of 2 meter per second square. The particle passes through the origin at a speed of 10 meter per second in the positive direction of x-axis. Now at time t seconds, the particle passes through a point A whose coordinate is 25, that is on x-axis. Find the value of t. So let us just make a simple sketch of this. So the particle is here moving along the x-axis. Say this is the origin. It is moving in the positive direction of x-axis. It is decelerating. That means the acceleration is given to you negative 2 meters per second square. The particle passes the origin with a speed of 10 meters per second. That means obviously this is the initial speed or initial velocity of the particle. Then at a time t seconds, the particle passes through a point A whose coordinate is 25. So students, keep this in mind that indirectly the displacement of the particle is given to you, assuming that the coordinates are separated by 1 meter each. That means this displacement OA is 25 given to you, and you want to find out the value of t. So t is equal to how much? So obviously, which is the relationship that will relate S with U, T and A? S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Put the values. So 25 is equal to UT, that is 10T plus half is negative 2 into T square, which will mean 25 is equal to 10T minus T square. So get this in the standard quadratic form, which is T square minus 10T plus 25 equal to 0. As you can see here, this is nothing but t minus 5 the whole square. The factors of this quadratic are negative 5 and negative 5. Or that means you will get t is equal to 5. That means at t is equal to 5 seconds, the particle will pass the point A whose coordinate is 25 on x-axis. Now come to the second part here. Again for the second part B, what things are given to you? Again, what is the displacement? In this case you want the velocity of the particle when it crosses a point whose x coordinate is -5. That means indirectly the displacement of the particle is -5 given to you. Then take u as the initial velocity 12 meters per second. A is -5 and you want to find out v. So which equation will relate all these things? S, U, A and V? Obviously v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Substitute these values. 12 square A is the deceleration -5, so 2 into -5 and S is also -5 because you want the speed of the particle when it crosses the point whose coordinates are -5 on x-axis. So it is 144 minus 5 into -5, that is positive 25 into 2, 50, which is 194. So V is equal to square root of 194, which will come out to be 13.9 to 3 significant figures, 13.9 meters per second. Okay with you? Okay, so let us come to the second problem here. A particle is moving with a constant deceleration of 4 meters per second square. At time t is equal to 0, the particle passes through the origin. So let us sketch it. This is the origin. Now the particle passes through the origin at time t is equal to 0 and it is moving in the direction of positive x-axis with a velocity of 10 meters per second. Now you have to find the time between the instant when P first passes through O, and the instant it returns back to O. So what things are given to you? What are the important things given to here? The particle is moving with a constant deceleration of 4 meters per second square. At t is equal to 0, the particle passes through the origin in the positive direction of x-axis with a velocity of 10 meters per second, and you want to find the time between the instant P first passes through O and the instant it returns back to O. So here what will happen is the particle is decelerating, so it will cross O with a speed of 10 meters per second. Its velocity or the speed will go on decreasing. So at a particular point the velocity will become 0 and the particle will now turn back and it will come back to O after some time interval. So we have to find out that time interval. Now, the particle is crossing O, going to some point, turning back and coming to O. So what will be the displacement of the particle in that case? Yes, it is coming back to the same point, means the displacement is 0. Acceleration is -4 given to you. It is deaccelerating at the constant rate. U is equal to 10 given to you. So you want to find out the time. So which is the best suitable equation here which relates S, A, U and T? Obviously S is equal to ut plus half at square. Now here S is 0 because the particle is returning back to the same point. U is 10, half into A is -4 into t square. So 0 is equal to 10t minus 2t square. Now here you can take 2t common. So you get 5 minus t. So if you solve this, you will get two values of t. T is equal to 0 and t is equal to 5. But t is equal to 0 is the first time the particle crosses the origin. So at t is equal to 5 seconds, the particle returns back to the origin. The particle will return back to the origin. Now, the next part, in that, what is asked to you? The total distance moved by the particle during this time. So here, again, let us sketch this. This is O. So the particle is traveling in one direction. It is coming to a point. Here the velocity is becoming 0 and then it will return back. So first let us find out the one-way distance traveled by the particle from origin to this point, say P, where the velocity of the particle becomes 0. So let us find out this distance first. So for that, A is -4, then U is equal to 10 given to you. The particle is crossing the origin in positive direction with a velocity of 10 meter per second. Then when it comes to P, the velocity becomes 0, so V is equal to 0. You want to find out the displacement from O to P. So, which is the best suitable equation which will relate A, U, V and S? Obviously, V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. Now V square, that is 0 square, U square, that is 10 square, plus 2, A is -4 into S. So 0 is equal to 100 minus 8S. So S is equal to 100 upon 8. 100 divided by 8, that will be 12.5 meters. Just go through all the steps, just see whether everything is becoming clear to you. Yes. So keep it in mind that particle is decelerating. It is traveling in positive direction of x-axis with the speed of 10 meter per second. So it will come to a point P where the velocity or the speed will become 0, and after that it will return back. So we will first find out the distance from O to P by taking the final velocity 0, initial velocity 10, and acceleration -4. So what will be the total distance traveled by the particle? What will be the total distance traveled by the particle? Yes, it is moving 12.5 meters in the positive direction and again 12.5 meters in the negative direction. So even though the total displacement is 0, what will be the total distance traveled by the particle? It will be double of 12.5. 12.5 in the forward direction and 12.5 in the backward direction. So 25 meters. And hence during this time interval, the total distance traveled by the particle will be 25 meters. Okay, students, is that okay with you? Please go through these problems and then I will give you some more problems of the similar type to solve. Okay, thank you, children. Bye. Enjoy the day.